Let's open some more sealed games, shall we? In the last episode, we opened a trio of original PlayStation games. We opened up a long box copy of Off-World Interceptor Extreme from 1995, and we got to a pair of 1997 releases in G-Police and Mass Destruction. We're fast forwarding on the calendar just a little bit. We're moving to the next generation of consoles, Generation 6 to be exact. And with these consoles, we had the Dreamcast, we had the PlayStation 2, we had the Gamecube, and the Xbox. Unfortunately, I don't have any Xbox games to open for you today, but I do have games from the other three systems. We're going to go ahead and get started on those so this video doesn't take forever. The first of these is a sports game. If you know me, you know that sports video games are kind of my thing. And this is one thing that I asked for Christmas, and my mom was nice enough to get it for me, and she got it for me sealed. This is Virtua Athlete 2000 for the Dreamcast. This is a button mashing kind of game. I love track and field, so these kind of games really appeal to me. And I actually did try this when I had my Dreamcast back in 2000, but I didn't remember playing it too much. So now I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to spend some time playing it. Not right this second, of course, but I'm going to go ahead and open this first. This is from the team that brought you Virtua Tennis. So that's kind of exciting. So let's go ahead and we're going to open this up. There are no seals on the top, by the way, so we're just going to go ahead and take the plastic wrap off this guy. There we go. Plastic wrap is coming off, slowly but surely. There we go, there we go. So that is the case. I don't want to cover up the Dreamcast. So that is the case. Here is the back, The World's Greatest Athlete. That's the title you can earn. On the inside, we have the disc, which is in blue. There we go. We also have a manual, which I'll take out in just a minute. And we have a warranty card. Always love these warranty cards. Here it is right here. Return this card to H-Tech Incorporated, and you may be eligible to receive free products, promotional items, and the latest information about our products. So they want to know all your details, your name, your address, city, state, zip, country, phone, age, sex, email. So this was recent enough for email. Date, name of store where purchased, systems you currently own. I always like reading these because it shows you the time period. So we have PlayStation game console, check. Sega Saturn, no check. Sega Genesis, check, still have that. NES, check. Sega CD, check. Super NES, check. N64, check. Virtual Boy, oh, they're serious. 3DO, no. M2, that never came out. That's too bad. IBM PC, I guess you could call this laptop I'm filming on a PC, so yes. Macintosh, no. And Sega Dreamcast, well, of course, or I wouldn't be buying the game. Favorite types of games, sports, favorite games, too many to list. Use the link cable for the PlayStation game console. Let me see if I can show you, yeah, like right there. I have the light on, but it's right there and smack in the middle of the survey. Why did you buy this software title? Magazines or periodicals you read, as if people still read magazines. But back then, this is what we read. Game Pro, Game Buyer, Expert Gamer, Tips and Tricks, PSM, which I read, PS Extreme, Game Fan, awesome magazine, Next Generation, EGM, Official PlayStation Magazine, Official Dreamcast Magazine, and other. So that is a look at the warranty card. Some of my favorite things with games back then is you had to actually, rather than go online, you actually had to fill it out and mail it in. The manual is fairly thick for a sports game manual. It's in black and white, no color, unfortunately. But this is cool. I am very happy to have this. Again, thanks to my mom for helping out there. I really do appreciate that. Next on the list is a game that I have wanted for some time. I had been looking for it at the conventions that I went to as part of Retro World Expo promotion last year. Didn't see it. I saw the other games in the series, but not this particular one. It is NFL 2K2 for the Dreamcast. Now, I have the first two games, but I didn't have this one. And it's really neat that it's sealed because I actually get a chance to open this on camera and talk a little bit about the 2K sports games. So let's go ahead and we're just going to open this right now. We're going to take the seal off it. You can hear it right in the microphone. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. There we go. So I think we're going to get one of the red Dreamcast warranty things in here. Unfortunately, the case is shattered. Happens in shipping. What can you do? It's okay. Actually, there's no warranty here. What there is, I'll show it to you really quickly. There's a little more games for the Dreamcast here, and if we open this up, there's like a nice little list of games like Sonic Adventure and Crazy Taxi 2. I think Metropolis Street Racer is there. Sonic Adventure 2. I mean, these are all just great games. And on the back, we have the Sega Sports Series. We have NBA 2K2, NFL 2K2, Tennis 2K2, NCAA, NHL. Just awesome, awesome stuff. So because the case is shattered, I'll show you the disc. First of all, it is black and white. It's very, very normal with a little bit of the blue in the 2K2 logo. And the instruction manual, let's take a look and see how thick the instruction manual is for this. It shouldn't be too bad. No, not bad at all. You can see Randy Moss on the front cover is a Minnesota Viking. And Vikings will be playing in the NFC Championship game, which is in about 4 hours or so from when I'm recording this video, so that's going to be pretty exciting stuff. The manual, however, is in full color, and I know it's tough to see because of my lighting. I'm sorry about that, but it is in color. The game screens are in color. There's a nice little Randy Moss bio with all of the statistics right there in the center. Really, really cool stuff. The 2K sports games, I could make an entire video about these. Just game changers. They were game changers, not just for the Dreamcast, but it really gave Madden a run for its money, and I thought that was really important during the time period. It's kind of sad that that Visual Concepts doesn't have the ability to make these football games anymore. But for my money, these games were a lot of fun to play. They didn't have quite the learning curve that Madden does, so they're more receptive or they're more accessible to more casual players, but at the same time giving you that sense that you're really playing a football game. The 2K games were the first ones to go 60 frames per second on the Dreamcast, whereas Madden didn't go 60 frames until it got to the PS2. So because the Dreamcast hit first, that 60 frames per second on the Dreamcast for the original NFL 2K was a really big deal, and still one of the things that really sticks out to me looking back on the series. So again, thanks to my mom for that. Speaking of 2K, we're going to shift gears. We're going to move away from the Dreamcast, and we're going to go to the GameCube at this point. We're going to save the PS2 for last. And speaking of 2K, we have another 2K game to open. This is NBA 2K2 for the GameCube, which was published in 2001. So this is a pretty early GameCube release. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up right now. Thankfully, the GameCube games aren't as difficult to get open. Just going to slide that right off of there. And when we open the case, let's see if anything pops out. I probably shouldn't do that. So inside the case, we have Allen Iverson with his mouth open. We have the NBA 2K2 mini disc right there. And we also have a Sega registration. Let's take a look at that really quick. Product registration. It is a triple fold-out. I know I really shouldn't have my light on. But it's a triple fold-out registration card. First name, last name, street, city, state, zip code, telephone number, date of purchase. What game did you purchase? What video game system is this for? Sadly, we had to be specific about that in 2001 because the Dreamcast was no more. Which of the following products do you currently own? Sega Dreamcast, yes. Nintendo 64, yes. Nintendo GameCube, obviously. Nintendo Game Boy Advance, yes. Nintendo Game Boy / Color. I have Color. I don't have a Game Boy. I really need to get one of those. PlayStation Game Console, check. PlayStation 2 Computer Entertainment System, check. an Xbox video game system. I did have one in the mid-2000s. I don't now. I probably should rectify that at some point, but that's going to have to wait until after I move to Florida and I have a bit more room. My collection is getting to the point where it's starting to become a bit more difficult to manage because of my living situation. So when I move to Florida in a couple of years, Xbox will probably be one of the first things I get. What's your favorite type of game? Sports. I know, lame, but I like it, so what? Approximately how many video games do you purchase and or receive a year? 1 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 plus. Do you own a computer? Well, yeah. Do you have access to the internet? Yeah. How at all do you access the internet to play games online? Do you play online on a computer, on a video game console, or don't play games online? Would you like to receive email from Sega? And then you have to have a parent sign it if you're under 18. No postage necessary if mailed in the U.S. But sadly, I think that will go nowhere. So again, talking about the 2K series, when they did branch out to the PlayStation 2 and the Gamecube and eventually the Xbox, it was definitely great competition for EA. And they weren't the only ones at the time. We were playing basketball games from Konami, from 989 Sports, if you're talking about the PS2. For the Gamecube, you had NBA Courtside. I believe, was it NBA Inside Drive for the Xbox? So there was definitely competition out there. It wasn't just NBA Live, or it wasn't just the 2K games. And that's what made sports games special during the 6th generation of consoles. But that's a video for another time. I don't really want to get into that too much, as I know I'm running along already. Oh, where did I get that? I probably should mention that. I picked that up at Congo last year. So that has been sitting unopened for like 4 months. Yeah, tough. Another game from my buddy Ralph down at Video Game Castle. This is still sealed. This is 2002 FIFA World Cup for the GameCube. So this is from 2002. And the price, you probably can't see it, $9.95. Yes, that is what I paid for this. So that was really nice that I was able to get that for that price. Let's see here. Let's get this open, maybe. Oh, boy. I really should have like a little opener thing so this doesn't take too long, but it's just not as organic as watching me struggle to get this open. So, we're going to open this up. Slide that off. 2002 FIFA World Cup. You do have the little FIFA sticker right there. On the inside of the game case, we do have a small game disc right here. We also have a registration card from EA. Complete email address. How dare you not give a complete email address? First name, last name, address, city, state, zip code, country, gender, date of birth, game title purchased, game systems you own. And we've gone through these already. PlayStation, PS2, N64, PC, GameCube, and Xbox. Very simple registration card. Not really a lot to write home about in terms of the card. It's not one of my favorites, but whatever. Also on the inside of the case, we do have the 2002 FIFA World Cup manual. The front is in color. We'll see if the inside is in color here. Looking on the inside, of course it's not. It is just black and white. There are very few screens as well, so of course with it being black and white, it's tough to see. But yeah. 2002 FIFA World Cup. I believe the U.S. was in this one. Not going to be in this next one. But that's a conversation for another time. Not going to dig at the U.S. men's soccer team too much in this video. That's topical humor. So those are the GameCube games. So we opened some Dreamcast, we opened some GameCube, and now we're going to take a look at some PS2 games. Looking first at this one, this is Spider-Man Greatest Hits. This is the first Spider-Man game for the PS2. I paid $2 for this. It is still sealed. Originally, it was another Kohl's game. If you saw my Congo pickups that I posted yesterday, there was a sealed Wii game that I opened on there that was also Kohl's. That was $24, and I got it for $5. So let's go ahead and we'll open this up real quick, because I still have 2 more to go. I paid $2 for this, by the way, at Sabres. So I'll take an unopened sealed game for $2 any day of the week. So this is a Greatest Hits release, so it's not going to be anything terribly exciting as we open it up. We do have the Spiderweb Spider-Man DVD-ROM in here. We also have the Spider-Man instruction manual. The instruction manual, I'm not sure. Yeah, this is another one that's just black and white, so it's not very exciting. Do whatever a spider can. Gives like the layout of the controls, just the usual stuff that an instruction manual does. There isn't a warranty card anywhere in here. Does give the Treyarch credits, which is kind of cool. I had this, but I only had it disc only, so finding this sealed gives me a complete in-box copy, which I'm happy about. So $2, I will take that. What do we got? Okay, we're going to do one more greatest hits game, and I've had this for a while too. And this is not going to surprise anybody. There are no real surprises to be seen here. This is Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec for the PlayStation. This was released in 2001. The interesting thing about this game, and by the way, this still has the security seal on it, which is kind of cool. And it does also, if I can get it open, I don't think I can. Oh, there it is. It also does have like the little flip tab. So if I wanted to hang this up, I could. Interesting thing about this came out in Twisted Metal Black. It came out at a time where we were starting to wonder what the PlayStation 2 software future is going to be like. We were kind of in a little bit of that launch lull or launch drought at the time. And then games like this and Twisted Metal Black had come out. And then later on in 2001, we had Metal Gear Solid 2, and we had Burnout, and we had Grand Theft Auto 3. So it's not that the drought lasted for long, but it was definitely a thing. We were starting to wonder whether we had spent money on a console that wasn't going to get any games. But that's typical. Very few consoles go through that launch period where they don't have a little bit of a drought to deal with. So opening this up, I'm sure most of you, I mean, this game doesn't hold much worth anymore, but it's still a great game regardless. The game's absolutely gorgeous on a PS2, especially if you're running it through like a component cable or, like a 480i, I think. I mean, graphically, it's amazing. Let's go ahead and we'll try and get the seal off of here. These security labels, I'll tell you, oh, there we go. That one actually came off pretty easily, so we'll take that off. Put that on my leg. We open up the case, and we do have the greatest hits version, so it's red. It's very cool looking red, I might add, and I love how the Gran Turismo label is like that silver. That's the disc color. On the inside, we do have an instruction manual that is thick. There is the manual right there. Of course, being a real driving game, you are going to get that really thick manual. We do have a registration card for the PlayStation Underground, one of my favorite programs of all time. I still regret not subscribing to this when it was a thing. But the registration, name, address, city, state, country, all that happy stuff. How many PlayStation games do you own? It would be kind of funny if I filled that out today and put 875. In the next 6 months, approximately how many PlayStation 2 games will you purchase? Probably not too many, because I'm getting close to being done with as many games as I want for that console. What kind of games do you like to purchase? How many hours do you play your PS2 a week? How many DVD movies do you plan to purchase in the next 6 months? Of course, that was a big deal with the PS2 having that DVD playback capability. And what type of internet connection do you have? Narrow bands up to 56K, broadband, or none. So that's pretty neat. And you could send this back. You did have to put a stamp on this. How dare you, Sony? Pony up for the postage, will you? And so we'll put that right back in here. And then, of course, the manual. The manual is actually in color, which is nice for a greatest hits game. You really can't see a lot of the color unless you see screens. But it is in color, so that's kind of nice. So Gran Turismo 3. Not my favorite game. I like more arcade racers than Sims, but I mean, it's hard to deny that even today, at least in my opinion, the game is still absolutely gorgeous to look at. Okay, we're approaching the 20-minute mark, so I got one more to go. This was a Christmas present for my mom as well. I have the other Outlaw games. I have Outlaw Golf 2, Outlaw Volleyball Remixed, although I don't have that complete. I need to find a case. But I didn't have this game, and so my mom again came to the rescue for me at Christmas this year and landed me Outlaw Tennis for the PS2. This is from 2005, so this game is going to be 13 this year. It doesn't have the security seal like we're used to seeing, but it does have security device enclosed, so I don't know what that means. We'll find out. Gonna open this up. There we go. Some of you who watched my last video, it was only 10 minutes, are probably wondering what the heck I'm doing here. I'm sorry about that, guys. So we open this up, and on the inside, we have a tennis-themed DVD-ROM. There it is, and we also have the instruction manual, which at least the cover is in color. Sadly, though, the rest of the manual is not. And there also isn't a warranty card in here. That's too bad. So there is the front cover. The back talks about Outlaw Volleyball Remixed, which I thought was originally an Xbox-only game, and they converted it for PS2, but I could be wrong. So the inside is black and white, not very exciting. But this is an arcade-style tennis game, not completely dissimilar to the Virtua Tennis games, but it plays a bit differently, and it's a bit raunchier. I mean, anytime you have a tennis game with an M rating on it, you know that you're in for quite the treat. So I'll be looking forward to trying this and seeing how it is. So that is a look at all of the Unsealed games. We have unwrapped some Dreamcast games, we have unwrapped some Gamecube games, and we have unwrapped some PlayStation 2 games. It's worth showing just for the camera here that I do have one other thing. I'm not going to unseal it, however, because I have all three of these, and there just really isn't a need to do that at this point. I do have the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy for the PS2 that I picked up from Walmart for $10. $10 for 3 brand new PS2 games is a pretty good deal. I may open this at a later time, but I think for now I'm just going to kind of keep this sealed. It's just kind of a cool novelty to have. And one other thing I'm going to show you, maybe, yeah, here it is. One other thing that I want to show is a game that I'm not going to open yet because I'm going to make this its own Unsealed episode because I want to give some thanks to the person who gave it to me. This is a still sealed copy of NHL 95 for the Genesis, which was, I was blown away getting this as a gift from Chris, who works on Classic Gaming Quarterly, which is a fantastic YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, you should do that. But Chris sent this to me in the mail, and I have not opened this yet. This still has the little flip-top peg on it. I want to dedicate a special episode to that because he was nice enough to give this to me, so I want to give that special attention. So that'll be in the future. So I do have more games to open up as we move forward. So thanks for checking out this episode of Unsealed. Thanks for checking out the last one. If you didn't check out the PlayStation episode, you should check that out. It's much shorter than this one, I promise. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I didn't drive some of you collectors too crazy by unsealing these. But again, I get these games to play them, not to display them. So I'll be looking forward to trying these out when I get some free time. Thanks for checking this out, everybody. And until the next time, take care of yourselves.